I'm Dr. Walt. I actually got involved through CBD itself. My mom had restless leg syndrome, and until she passed away, that was one of the things that she just couldn't get control over. She was a physician, both my parents are doctors as well. I watched her suffer so many years with that. But at the very end, right before she passed away 5 years ago, CBD started appearing on the market. And I noticed that she was able to glean some relief from it. So it started to make a believer out of me. So then you look for the golden, or the holy grail rather, of CBD. So I looked at a number of companies, and while they all look good on the outside, when I started to really examine them, especially as a physician, looking at the ins and outs of a company, you realize that sometimes they're glossy, but when you really look into them, there's missing a piece of the puzzle. Either their product is always from a different location, they don't validate what's in their product, so you don't know what's actually in it. It's crazy price points. But when I found Franny's, I realized it was kind of all one package. And while I looked pretty critically at it to try to make it not that, looking for a little kink in the armor, if you will, there just wasn't one. The more I looked into it, the more I liked it, both from a product perspective and how it's presented, which I think is just as important nowadays as well. So I basically took my medical background and started using her products and realized, wow, I mean, there's nothing better than when you find something and you're overwhelmed. I find myself so many times being underwhelmed by things nowadays that it's nice for something to give you more than what you think you're going to get. And I guess that's what I get from Franny's. It was a good year and a half, looking at a number of companies. And then uniquely, my brother, who is the president of United Franchise Group, came to me and said, look, we really would like to represent a CBD company. I want you to look at a few companies. And again, with that critical eye, looking at companies and seeing how they're put together and the ins and outs. Franny's always was, head and shoulders above the rest. And no matter how critically we looked at it, it always came up as number one. So it was easy to get behind something like that. Well, when we decided that, just looking at her products and looking at what she's put together, that it certainly seemed like the real deal. The next step was to come and spend some time here. So I actually spent a week on the farm itself, which was the most unique experience I've ever had. Again, that feeling of being completely overwhelmed by it. And when you're someplace for a week, it's hard to create an aura that's not real. You can do that for a day, but you certainly can't do it for a week. And each day I was here, I found it was better than the day before. Everybody I met was so passionate about what they did. That doesn't happen by accident. So when you combine that with the products itself, it's a win-win. And then there's Franny herself, who is absolutely a force to be reckoned with. And I think her passion is so horribly contagious that it drew me in. And I keep coming back. It's hard to stay away. So I'm basically the first contact, or the liaison between a potential franchisee and becoming a franchisee. So when someone shows interest in this company, I will be the first contact with them, get them on the phone, get a little background from them, let them know about Franny's, basically give them that same story, where Franny came from, how special she is, and how special the brand is, and help them walk through that process step by step, from a finance perspective, from finding a location for them, through the build out, through marketing, through signage, through the entire process. That's where UFG comes in, because they've got 35 years of experience doing that, the United Franchise Group. So we're able to combine two great companies and make one big company that just really has all the bells and whistles under one roof. Really, either the CBD user or the non-CBD user both need to do their due diligence. There's a lot of products out there. And what I found is not all products are created equal. So while it says CBD on the label, it doesn't really mean that that's what's inside the product. So I think the unique thing about Franny's is, number one, she validates everything that's comes out of her company. So we know that in a tincture, if it says it's this percentage of CBD, it is in fact that percentage of CBD, which is huge. Because it's the difference between it helping or you thinking, well, this CBD, it's not, it's not what it's cracked up to be, if you will. And in reality, it is so special. But I think that's what makes Franny's product so special. And she's got so many of them. You don't have to just choose A, B, or C. You've got 50 plus products to choose from. So I think it really goes to so many different target groups as far as who it could help, including pets. It just doesn't get any better than that. And I think that's what makes this brand unique. That it works, and it works so wonderfully. And as a physician, I'm always so critical about side effects and negatives. And it's so unique to have something that only gives you a positive result without negatives. That just doesn't happen very often. It's certainly not in medicine. There's always something you lose with something you gain. And with Franny's products, it's a gain-gain versus, a gain-lose, if you will. Well, I think, first of all, again, you have to do your due diligence. Do some comparison shopping. I think once you compare, if you're interested in a CBD franchise, if you look at other franchise opportunities, Franny's by far will stand out. I mean, there's just really no comparison. When I talk to people about Franny's, sometimes we'll slow a slideshow, if you will, and I always think it's hard for slides or pictures to do this company any justice. And oftentimes I just talk because I just feel that passionate about the brand. So first, you really look at other brands and do your comparison shopping. And then you have to decide, is this something I want to do and be involved in personally? Because I think that's what makes this unique. It gives you the opportunity to be helpful to people, be involved in something that's new and upcoming and is going to be around, I think, forever, and make a living or make money doing it too. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that. I guess just don't be afraid. I mean, I think the thing that prevents most of us from moving forward with any of these things is that fear of the unknown. And what I try to do, my job in this process, is kind of take that fear away and help navigate you through the dark, if you will, and show you that there never has to be dark. It can be light the entire way. And I think the most important thing that I find with Franny's and the people that work here in this company is that everyone I've met is so horribly passionate and they enjoy what they do so much, and that just doesn't happen by accident. And you just don't find that in other companies. And that's an easy sell. That sells itself. You don't have to really sell that. Once somebody experiences that by coming here and spending time during a discovery day, it's hard not to wrap your heart and your mind around being part of this company.